Hey, what's up guys? I'm BTC. There have been some major changes made to Roadhog's Hook over on the PTR, but unfortunately a lot of people are so caught up with riding the hype train that they're missing out on some important information about the changes to the hook mechanic. So in this video, I'm going to go into detail about all the changes, and I'm going to have an objective look at what's good, what's bad, and what's still broken. So we're going to start with the good. The hook victim will now get pulled in front of Roadhog more consistently. This is a great change and can be considered a buff for Roadhog because now it means that after you land a hook, your follow-up combo will be more consistent. Under the old version, after you hook someone, you would normally have to take a step forward in order for you to be close enough to the target for your combo to actually kill them. With the new version, as you can see from the video you're watching, you don't even have to take a step forward. You can simply shoot and then quick melee and you'll kill the target. The new version even works with the heroes that would often survive the combo, like Ana, Reaper, Mei, and Hanzo. Even with these, you still don't even need to take a step forward with the new version in order to kill them. Also, it should be noted that because of these changes, the old side hook trick doesn't work anymore at all. But it doesn't matter because you no longer need it. So this part of the change is definitely an improvement and a buff for Roadhog. Now another thing about this is that it's now way easier to drop someone off a cliff, which is kind of funny because just the other day Blizzard said the exact opposite. Blizzard said that it was going to be more difficult to hook someone then spin and drop them off a cliff for an environmental kill. As you can see here under the old version, if I hook someone and I turn, it doesn't drop them off the cliff. But now here in the new version, there's no fancy movement required. I simply hook the target, turn to my right, and then drop them. It's literally the opposite of what Blizzard said the other day. For any of the maps that have any sort of environmental kill area, you now have to be a little extra careful if there's a Roadhog near that spot, because now it's a lot easier for them to dump you over the edge. This is technically a buff, but it's a small one, and it's not something that they can use very often because the environmental kill areas are pretty limited. So now we're going to move on to the bad. There is now a persistent line of sight check whenever Roadhog lands a hook. This means that even after you land a hook, if you lose line of sight for even a split second, the hook will break. I explained in my previous video on the topic why this is a bad idea and why this is going to make Roadhog so bad that he is no longer viable in high-level competitive play. A lot of people are really underestimating just how bad of a nerf this is. Let's take a quick look at some of the different maps in the game. The way that Overwatch maps are designed is that there are very few large open spaces and there are lots and lots of walls and corners everywhere, especially at choke points. It is now incredibly easy for someone to avoid getting hooked. If Roadhog or the target is anywhere near a wall or a corner, there is now a very good chance that line of sight will be broken, even after the hook lands. And because of that, the target will not get pulled. This means that the already smart strategy of staying near cover is even better, because it will be extremely difficult for a Roadhog player to reel you in even after they land the hook. In fact, the only time Roadhog is consistently going to land hooks is when your enemy is an idiot and standing in the open. The other side of this is that it also means after Roadhog throws a hook, he needs to stand perfectly still, otherwise he'll risk breaking line of sight himself. This will make the Roadhog player much more vulnerable to attack. So before, you could pop out from cover, throw the hook, grab onto someone, and then hide behind cover so that you don't get destroyed, but now you're going to have to pop out and stand there in the open, allowing the entire enemy team to shoot you. Again, I think this is a massive nerf, and combined with the changes that Ana got, I can very easily see Roadhog being phased out of higher level competitive play. Alright, so we covered the good and the bad, and now we get to the broken. I'm sure everyone knows about how Roadhog's hook could land on someone around a corner even though he couldn't see them. and I'm pretty sure everyone agreed that that was bullshit. Well, under the new version of the hook mechanic, Roadhog can no longer hook targets he cannot see. Yay! Unfortunately, he can no longer hook targets he can see. What? I did a little bit of testing, and some of the results were just ridiculous. As you can see in the video you're watching right now, the target is clearly visible. Some of the enemy is obscured by the environment, but a large portion, probably around 40% of the target, is still visible, and yet Roadhog is unable to land a hook. So I know you might be thinking, well, maybe you have to be able to see at least half the target, or maybe the middle of the target, center mass, in order to land a hook. But that's not the case either. If we switch perspectives, and now I'm the one that's behind the wall, I can clearly see more than 60% of the enemy Roadhog. I can see his entire left side, I can see his head, I can see the center mass of the character, and yet I still can't land a hook. This is the old version of the hook. This is bullshit, and it's broken. This is the new version of the hook. This is also bullshit, and it's still broken, just in a different way. Under the old version, the target would get screwed over. Under the new version, the Roadhog player gets screwed over. And it gets even worse. Unfortunately, I don't have the footage of it, but while I was playing and testing out the new mechanics, I saw some other situations where I could see as much as 70% or more of a character, and yet the hook would still not connect. It's still broken, it's just broken in a different way. Now these changes were made on the PTR, so it's still possible that Blizzard could go back and try to fix it a little bit more, because these changes should not be pushed to the live server. I want the Roadhog player to be able to reel in a target that he can see and that he lands a hook on. And I want the target to be able to avoid a hook if possible. But I don't want any sorts of nonsense where a Roadhog can hook a target he can't see, and he also can't hook a target he can see. There's gotta be some fix that will resolve both. But hey, what do you think about all the changes to Roadhog? Let me know your feedback in the comments section below. Alright guys, that is going to be about it for this one, but I'm always uploading the latest in tips, guides, and Overwatch news, so make sure you hit that subscribe button so you don't miss any of it. If you liked the video, make sure you hit that like button, share it with your friends. Remember, always blame the controller, because it's never your fault.